Welcome to your 60-minute bar boost class. Today, we're going to boost it all. We're going to boost your booty, we're going to boost your spirits, and we're going to boost your confidence. So not only your confidence in making it through a bar class, because we're going to be talking a lot about the fundamentals and the alignment principles of bar, but also boosting just your confidence in moving, feeling good, keeping your heart shining, and just being your best self and feeling super fantastic. So if you've never done a bar class before, don't worry, you are going to get everything you need to understand and make it through a bar class today. And if you've done a bar class with me before, you're just going to get to layer on more of the good stuff. So you don't need any shoes for this workout. Just make sure you've got some water. Throw on something that you don't mind getting a little bit sweaty in. Take a big deep breath in. And let's get started to get boosted. We're going to start into a warm-up today with a nice wide second position. So go ahead and walk your heels out wider than your hips. Take a big deep breath in, roll those shoulders down the back, lift the lower belly up and draw that belly in. We're going to start with a plie series here. So bending deeply into those knees. We're going to inhale in 4, 3, press those knees back, drop your tailbone. Here we go. Inhale and exhale, starting nice and slow. Inhale and exhale. Bringing some nice movement easily into the body to start. 4 more here. Deep breath in. Breathing into the fingertips, into the toes, planting firmly in the heels, keeping those knees pressing back. Lower abs continue to draw up as the tailbone relaxes down. We're going to double time, pick it up. Here we go. Inhale, exhale, press those arms wide. Inhale, exhale, press. For 4, press wide. 3, bringing some resistance in with those shoulders, back to slow. Inhale, 3, 2, and 1, and down, deep plie. Here we go. Inhale, exhale, draw those lower abs up. Starting to feel a little bit of warmth in those shoulders and those hips already. Double time, pick it up. Here we go. Inhale, press wide. Inhale, exhale, press wide. Doing our best here to keep the shoulders in line on top of the hips. Knees pressing back, breath still flowing. Moving into our first set of pulses. Here we go, down and hold. So again, this pulse here, coming from the booty, squeezing, squeezing. So we're not just gripping the glutes in the back, we're squeezing underneath and allowing that to lift up to the fronts of the hips. Set a little bit lower, 8, 7. Reach those fingers, roll those shoulders, lift those lower abs. 3, 2, 1, slow breathing here. Inhale, 3, 2, and 1, exhale. 3, 2, you've got this, breathe. 2 more nice, slow, deep breaths. And exhale, press it wide. Pick it up, double time. Here we go. Inhale for 2, exhale, press it wide. Dropping into our plie, a little bit lower. Every time if we can. Even if we're not physically going any lower, we're using the power of our minds to try. The magic is in the effort. 2 more here. Really use that exhale to sit low and hold. Here we go, let's pulse it out. Roll those shoulders onto the back. When I say reach those fingertips, imagine you're like Stretch Armstrong. Reaching those fingertips to touch opposite walls, however big or small your space is. Reach beyond, sit a little bit lower. 8 more pulses here. Really squeeze those glutes underneath. Opening through the fronts of those hips, feel that nice fire. That's good. 3, 2, 1. Single breath up, press wide. Breathe. 2 more. All right, we're gonna bring those hands down to the knees. Little rest for those hips. Bring left shoulder forward, stretch and hold. You might feel a little pop, a little release in the lower back. All good. Switching right shoulder forward. So doing our best here to keep those shoulders away from the ears. Really press the shoulder forward, using our hands to press those knees back. We really want to make sure that our knees are in the same direction as the toes. Sometimes that might mean we need to bring the toes a little bit further in or out, so we have that alignment there. Okay, now bring those toes forward. Inhale, reach it up, and then reach forward for me. Reach for me, and hands down. So hamstring stretch here. You can keep your neck in alignment, or your head in alignment with your spine. Making sure we're not breaking the neck up. If you have more flexibility or you want to build for more flexibility, you can plant the hands and let the head fall forward. A little opening up, wake up for the hamstrings. Breathing here for 8 more. Shifting the weight now a little bit more into the balls of the feet.
Really use your mind to guide those sit bones up to the ceiling, getting more length in the hamstrings. Now let's go ahead and bend those knees nice and generously. Drop the pelvis, and on an inhale, begin to walk the hands in. Drop the tailbone down and rolling up slowly, one vertebrae at a time. Waist over hips, shoulders over waist, head over shoulders. All right, guys, roll those shoulders back. A little bending in the knees, nice and easy. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Add big circles, nice and slow. Open. Find that breath. If we lost it, inhale, exhale. Okay, turn those toes back out. We're gonna take a big deep breath in. We're gonna find this position. So hopefully you're feeling a little bit warmer here. I know I am. If you need to grab some water, go ahead and grab some water. We're gonna do this next series, which is actually a little bonus for our core, in this wide second position. So just a little go over notes. First position, heels are together, legs are externally rotated. Second position, feet are wider. So hips, our heels are wider than the hips. We sit down nice and low, and then make sure that we're not pitching the pelvis. So when I say tailbone relaxes down, and the lower abdominal muscles facilitate that by drawing up so that tailbone can relax down. You know, we wanna kind of pop that booty. We got the good tunes. Yeah, we can do that maybe a little bit later. Relax that tailbone. So we don't want to be tucking under, because that's going to shoot the knees forward. So we find that balance of knees pressing back, booty squeezing under. We find that nice balance of strength and flexibility front to back. That's what barre is all about. That's why you're here. You maybe didn't know it, but now you know. I'll keep reminding you too. Roll those shoulders onto the back, engage that core. Draw the belly in. Sit nice and low as you feel like you can. In this series, we're going to put the weight into the heels as much as possible. And we're going to start with a reach the side. Inhale back through center, reach side, inhale back through center. So bringing our focus back to what I talked about at the beginning. Really stretch Armstrong, reaching those fingertips wide. So we don't just want to kind of work around our own little circle here, getting a little caught in our own mess. You really want to reach wide and long, past the fingertips, reach. We're going to do one more slow each side. We're going to pick up the pace. So control here. Core strength through the center. Gonna pick up the pace. So we're gonna reach and center, reach and center. So obliques really firing up here. You may also find that you feel like you want to kind of favor over to one side. We're not gonna do that right now. That would be an exercise we could do. But here, we're really working to stabilize through the center of the core. For me, I find it's helpful to exhale on the reach. Exhale and center, exhale, reach and center. So continuing to draw the lower abdominal muscles up, continuing to squeeze the glute muscles underneath, and continuing to open to the fronts of the hips. We're going to do our pulses here, so hold it to the left. We pulse, pulse, pulse. So we're reaching through those right fingertips, nice and long, sit a little lower. Breathe, keep that right shoulder open. Press those knees back, scoop the booty under. 3, 2, 1, switch and pulse. Left side here. I know where you're at, you're feeling the burn. It's good. What we want to do here is kind of collapse everything into the front, and I really want you to work through the back body. Press those knees back to single. Center and side, center and side, center and side. If you need to modify this and extend straight through the legs, you're more than welcome to come up at any point and stay here, or just come up for a little break and then come back down. Your choice. You know what those legs are telling you. Abdominal muscles here are gonna work more the more you really reach that top arm. So we're gonna, after 4 more of these, we're gonna pick it up even faster. Yes, we're doing it. 3, 2, 1. So we're getting rid of the pause in the middle. Just squeezing side to side. So now arms are coming through the center to reach. Tempo's a little bit faster. So you want to make this as efficient as possible here. 8, 7, really reach. Drop the hips, press those knees back. 3, 2, 1. We hold and pulse, pulse. Ah, you didn't know these pulses could feel so good, but here you are, loving the pulses. 8 more. Really press those knees back. Squeeze the booty underneath. Squeeze those sit bones together as much as you can. And then a little more. 3, 2, change in size. We pulse. Yes, we're breathing. Let that smile flow onto your cheeks. 3, 2, 1. Take a little break. Tiny little break. We get to do a third set. Breathe in, roll those shoulders, really check in with that pelvis. Drop the tailbone down, squeeze the glutes together, open up in the hips. Sit it low, little lower, yes. You got this. Take a little moment to groove. Why not? I know you're saying, Angel, get to the exercise. Bring in the fun. There it is. Sit low, deep breath in, reach those fingertips. We're gonna take 1 count to reach, breathe center, exhale, reach, breathe center. You can do this. You've done 2 sets, you can do 1 more. Exhale, reach. 2 more each side. Pressing the weight as much as you can into the heels and then trying to draw the heels together. Double time, pick it up. Here we go. Reach, arms come now through center. Okay, you can always extend up through the legs. If you need to at any point, take a little break. You can come back down into the plie position in second when you're ready. Here for 7, 6, little lower, reach it more. 3, 2, and 1. Hold and pulse. Really drive those right fingertips to the wall. 3, 2, 1, and change. Switch it out, we pulse. Squeeze the booty here, guys. We're gonna do a bonus. You're gonna love it. 3, 2, 1. Again, we pulse. Reach. Squeeze those sit bones together. I know you wanna pop the booty at the back. Don't do it, not yet. We'll take a little booty break. We'll party it out, I promise. Just not now. 4, 3, you've got this. 2 and 1. Switch your final 16 here. Legs are burning. Core is working. Roll that left shoulder open. Reach those left fingertips. We're reaching. Sit a little lower. Squeeze those sit bones. Lift the lower abs. 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. We're gonna do 3 more deep breaths just like this right here. Now we are toasty. Nice work, you guys. Breathe in and exhale. All right, now heel toe together. Now take that little booty break. All that booty popping you want to do at the back, pop it now. Just make sure even when you're popping the booty, you're still lifting those lower abdominal muscles. Protect that back. Now grab some water, you guys. Oh, I did actually bring some water. I just left it over here. Thank goodness. Sometimes I forget my water and it's no bueno. All right, guys, nice. We're gonna move into our shoulder series. We're gonna give those legs a little bit of a break. We're gonna do some shoulders. We're gonna get into these triceps, biceps. We're gonna get all these guys in the arms working, grooving. We're gonna come back to the legs in a little bit. So shake it out. Just know we'll be back. Okay, our first series, we're gonna bring our feet together. Our feet underneath our hips. So we're gonna roll those shoulders onto the back. So right now, heels are in line with the center of your hips. A lot of the time I say hip distance apart. Most people, ladies in particular, will put the insides of their heels to the outside of their hips. Women tend to have this thought in their head that they're wider than they are. So for proper alignment, we really want to stack our bones directly on top of each other, be most efficient, create the most opportunity for health in our joints. So heels underneath the center of your hips. That's where your femur is really going to connect into your hip joint. So that's where we want to stack. Center of the hip, above the knees, straight down the shin bones and into between the big toe and the second toe. Not the center of the foot, big toe, second toe, right in here. That's the straight alignment we want to have. So while we're here, bones are stacked, we're healthy, we're happy, tailbone relaxes down, lower abs lift up, shoulders roll onto the back. If you have weights here and you want to use them, of course, you're more than welcome to use them. I would recommend 1s, 2s, or 3s. 5s, gonna be pretty intense, but if you're out there and you're going for it, of course, that's up to you. However, alignment is most important. So if you're doing this series and your shoulders are doing the work first, you're gonna wanna drop those weights or lower the weights, making sure the alignment stays key, that shoulders stay away from the ears, yeah? Roll those shoulders down the back. Slight micro bend in the knees so we can keep that focus on aligned pelvis. Here we go. We're gonna start with our fingertips, palms in, fingertips down, palms into the thighs. We're gonna lift those arms, lift and lower, lift and lower. Here we go, lift and lower. So you can check down here, take a look, use your eyeballs, look down at those toes. We wanna make sure they're pointing directly forward, same direction as the knees. We don't want the toes splaying out the sides. We don't want the toes sneaking in. The toes, knees, driving the same direction, that's directly forward. For some of you guys out there, that might be a huge struggle. And for me, it used to be. I used to actually be knock-kneed, so I can feel you on that one. But barre will help you straighten all this out. So if you're feeling frustrated right now, that's okay. Please stick with me. We will bring that strength, balance, and alignment into your body. Here we go. Shoulder height, hold it out, and pulse. Little lift, lift. So reaching those fingertips wide. The more you can resist through the shoulders and really reach those fingertips wider than you think your arms actually are, the more you're gonna get that burn in the shoulders. Lift those palms up. Here we go. Pulse, pulse. Lifting the lower abs, still utilizing that breath to inhale through the body for length, exhaling, engage everything for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to flip it over, so rotating from the shoulder. Not just flipping the palms, rotating shoulder and shoulder. So we're moving the arm inside the shoulder socket, but we're not allowing the shoulders to actually shift. So you'll notice a really big difference when you just focus on that small motion of control, rotating the arms. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Into our biceps, lift those palms up, keeping those palms nice and open. We squeeze it in, extend. Squeeze in, extend. Squeeze in, extend. Checking in with your toes again, take a little peek down. Make sure we haven't rolled to the outsides of the pinky toes. Also make sure we haven't rolled in. Center of the heel. Big toe mound is where we want to have the focus of our weight. Relax that tailbone down. Now with the arms, especially if we're not using weights here, we really want to think about contracting the bicep to feel the burn. Now if you are using weights, don't rely on those weights either. Still contract that bicep first. 3, 2, 1, here we go. Bring those arms in, put those palms forward. We're gonna pump it up, up, up. Egyptian hieroglyphic here. So hands are pulling back to be in line vertically on top of the elbows, and then elbows are in line with the shoulders. As we pump the arms up, we're really drawing those shoulders down the back. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. Here we go. Extend, lower down. Second set. Reach and lower. Reach and lower. So we want to try to think here, and if it's all just so much information, I know I talk a lot, allow my words to just flow into your brain and settle in beautifully into the landscape of your mind. We want to focus on the front body and the back body at the same time. As humans, we tend to move forward in life. We're all about growing, progressing, transforming, yes? So we want to make sure that what's behind us is propelling us forward in healthy directions and not weighing us down. Yeah, you can go pretty deep with that one. Let that one settle as we lift the arms for 3, 2, and 1. Now we hold and little pulses. So what we get to learn, and through muscular memory, cellular memory here, through doing these barre exercises on high repetitions and low weights, or if no weights at all, is our muscles get to learn new ways of being. We're teaching them to be long and strong. Flip those palms up. Strong and flexible at the same time. Balance between strength and flexibility. Keep it pulsing. Also balanced front to back, side to side, top to bottom. 3, 2, 1 into our rotations. Palms down, palms up. Palms down, palms up. Check in with those feet. Make sure those knees are, I make adjustment too. Knees are still going directly forward over those toes. As the rotation is really happening from the shoulder socket. 3, 2, 1. Let's curl. Squeeze, extend. Squeeze, extend. Bring those shoulder blades together in the back. Keep the ribs lowering, relaxing down towards the belly button. Lower abdominals lift up towards the belly button, and the belly button relaxes in towards the spine on that exhale. 2 more here. And 1. All right, now bring those hands up, palms forward, party pump. Pump, pump. I know what you want to do here is move bigger because you're feeling that really acute burn sensation. You're feeling the party in the shoulders, I know. 3, 2, and 1. We get to do it again. Extend those fingers, reach it long, lower down. If you need to take a little break, a couple little shoulder rolls back. Third set, here we go. 3, 2, 1, where you reach and lower, reach and lower. So we're doing really a lot of work in the shoulders here. Biceps are working too when we get towards the end of this set. We're gonna get into the triceps after. So we're gonna really work that back body. But while we're working, we're feeling the burn more in the fronts of the shoulders, tops of the shoulders here. I want you to imagine a beautiful waterfall flowing down your shoulder blades, and then allow that water to bring some effort, some engagement into your body, that the ribs, the shoulder blades, slide together, and then squeeze down the back. All right, lift and hold, pulse for 7, 6, check in with those toes and the knees, relax the tailbone down, lift the lower abdominal muscles up, palms lift up, 7, deep breath in, 3, 2, and 1 into this rotation. Here we go, squeeze and change, lower, palms up, press down, press up, press down, press up. Really keep those shoulders pressing away from the ears. I know they want to lift up. We're drawing them down and away. That's how the back really gets engaged. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Palms up. Let's do it. Bicep curl. So the biceps really get engaged here when we tell them to. The shoulders can take over, especially if they're creeping up towards the ears. So take a deep breath in. Relax those shoulders down. Elbows in line with the shoulders the best we can. Final portion here. Bring those palms in, 90 degrees, party, pump it up. Lift all 10 toes, really ground in through the big toe mound. Center of the heel, relax those little piggies back down. Tailbone relaxes down towards the heels. Lower abdominal muscles lift up. Now bring those palms back. Check both sides. Are your wrists on top of your elbows? If not, we're doing our best to bring them there. 4 more here. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Nice. Give yourself a hug. Even bring those hands in. Give those shoulders a nice massage down through the biceps. Gorgeous. Now clasp those hands behind. Bring those shoulder blades together. Lift the chin up if it feels good. And then drawing the knuckles down towards the heels. So nice heart opener here. It's probably going to feel pretty intense, but also glorious across the front body. You can close your eyes if you're feeling balanced. Again, making sure we're not sinking in the lower back here. We're still lifted through the core. Tailbone still relaxed down. Breathing here. All right, you guys, release. Roll those wrists out. Give those shoulders a nice little massage. If you need another little massage, grab yourselves another little sip of water. Feel free to take a break, shake that booty, and feel the music. We're gonna get back into our legs here, so wiggle it out. Okay, theme of the day here. I'm working a lot in second position. Within this second position, we do have the opportunity to really work the glutes as well as the inner thighs. It can be a little bit harder to get into, but we're really gonna work them here. So this series is gonna be for pliés and relevés. So terminology-wise, to just regroup, plié is this bending in the knee. There's a motion, so it's not just a start and stop. We find that nice plié motion. And relevé is lifting the heels. So we're gonna lift the heels and lower, lift the heels and lower. We're gonna combine those two to a plié, into a relevé, plié, into a relevé. So you wanna start in a nice wide second position, and again, imagine you're sandwiched between 2 panes of glass. So tendency is gonna be to do this, is to plié, relevé, plié, relevé. I'm really exaggerating here, but some of you are gonna wanna do that. So when you are dropping into your plié, really think, relax tailbone down, lift lower abdominal muscles up, and then as you relevé, we have that rotation of squeezing in the glutes, lifting to the fronts of the hips to make sure that these shoulders stay stacked over hips. Yes, it's not about how high you're gonna lift your heels. It is, however, about how you're engaging your body, your muscles, to get those bones to align. Yes, muscles are working around the bones. Walk those feet nice and wide. So heels definitely wider than shoulder width apart. Give your forehead a scratch if you're starting to sweat and it's getting itchy. Okay, so we're gonna start first just with the pliés to get back that motion. We're gonna add in the relevés, and then we're going to add in the plié into relevé, and we're gonna do some little pulses, because it's barre, and that's what we're here for. So when we go into our plié, I want you to really drive your weight into your heels. Obviously, when we do the relevé, you're gonna press your weight into the balls of the feet. So let's start. Plié, stretch. Plié, and stretch. Now you can use your arms down here with your hands on your waist, or if you want a little bit more work in the arms, or if you just need some more stability, arms come out. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we do our relevés. We lift those heels and lower, lift and lower. Now if balance is something that you're struggling with here, you can of course grab onto something stable. If you have a chair or something beside you that you are using to stabilize yourself, you can grab onto that. You can even just bring the chair right in front of you and hold on if that feels better too. Here for 4, squeeze. So as you lower the heels, I really want you to resist in squeezing in towards the midline, yes? Back to our pliés, plie and stretch, plie and stretch. Now we're gonna add the plie and releve together. 3, 2, 1, here we go. Plie, releve, plie, releve. So all those little notes from the beginning, as we plie, tailbone down, lower abs are lifted, knees press back, booty squeezes underneath to lift up in the fronts. Shoulders stay stacked over hips. Head stays effortlessly rested on top of the shoulders. Now hold that releve position and we lower the heels and lift, lower and lift. You got it, you knew it was coming. Even secretly in your heart, you felt it. You knew it was on its way. So quads here are lifted. We're resisting not only down to the floor, but in. Yes, it's when you really feel those inner thighs wake up. 3, 2, 1, here we go. Plie down and rise. Plie and releve. Plie, releve. If your feet are slipping on your mat a little bit, make sure you just bring those feet back in. Whew. Lose your balance, we got this. Plie, releve. Squeeze those lower abs up. Plie, releve. Plie, releve. 4, 3, 2, 1, hold it up. We lower and lift. Yes, lower and lift. You got this. Lower and lift. Lower and lift. Lower down. We lift. Lower and lift. As the heels lift, the lower abs lift. Bonus little pulses here. Little resist down like ½ an inch. Squeeze. You're gonna feel those hammies fire up real style. Yes. 8. Roll those shoulders, staying tall through the head. We've got one more set. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. Let's go. Plie, releve, plie, releve. So we're controlled. Now check in again. Are you doing your little booty party pump out the back? Keep that tailbone relaxing down, lower abs really lifting up. You gotta fight it because the lower back wants to relax. We're here to build that foundational strength in the core that's gonna keep our spine healthy. 3, 2, 1. We keep those heels lifted. We lower and lift. Fingertips are reaching nice and wide. Quads are lifted. Shoulders on top of hips. You got this. 4, squeeze that booty. Open, lift through the fronts of the hips. 2, squeeze those hip bones together even more. Little tiny pulses. Here we go. Resist, resist, resist. If you have hyperextension, be mindful. Micro bend. Really lift those quads. Now squeeze those legs together. Like if you could, just draw that mat and bring those heels together. Final bonus through this burn. 4, yes, you got this. 3, 2, and 1. Relax. Nice. Excellent, excellent, excellent. I feel the burn with you, I promise. I know I make it look easy, but I've been practicing for many, many years to be graceful. It doesn't mean it doesn't burn. These exercises are designed to push you to your limits, to stretch this calf out. If you want to grab your water and sip while we're having this little calf break, feel free. So really pressing the heel into the ground, driving forward again, making sure that we're not overextending into the lower back. All right, switching feet. So bar exercises are designed to exhaust you to some extent, pushing you to your limits, finding areas that we can build strength in, pushing to where we think it's weakness and then building strength there. When we get to those new areas, we can create opportunity for new possibilities of being balanced in strength and flexibility, of being aligned, all the good healthy things that we want. Okay, we're gonna take a little water break here, you guys. So go ahead, grab your water, take a little shimmy, shimmy, shake, a little booty break party. All right, before we hit the mat for our next leg series, we're getting into some triceps. So I'm going to face sideways so you guys can really see the alignment on this one. So we're going to be feet hip distance apart, so you guys know what that is now. Heels in line with the center of your hip. And then we're going to sit, low. So we're gonna sit low and then we're going to shift. So we're gonna bring the shoulders forward. So shoulders are slightly in front of the knees. Knees are approximately on top of the toes. We're not gonna open up this back door here. We're gonna keep those sit bones squeezed together, but we're not gonna tuck underneath. So we wanna still keep this alignment of shoulders over hips, nice and strong. So lower core is lifted, belly is drawing in, shoulders roll onto the back. So we're gonna do our best to keep the shoulder blades squeezing together across the back and then pressing down. We start with our arms low, head is relaxed. We lift back and lower, lift back and lower. So palms are facing each other here. At the bottom, we lift for 4, squeeze. Easy to check in here to make sure that the knees are in line with the toes. And we're gonna lift those arms up, hold in, pulse. 8, 6, breathe. Keeping those shoulder blades squeezed together. Now we're gonna flip those palms back, press back for 6, 3, 2, and 1. Now we add little circles, circles. For 4, 3, 2, change those circle direction. 8. Lift all 10 toes, make sure we're really pressing into the big toe mound. Now from here, we're gonna flip those palms to face each other. We're gonna try to squeeze those hands together, little self 5. You're probably not gonna get those hands together. In fact, I guess if you could, definitely let me know if you can. There'll be some crazy shoulder flexibility, but we're drawing those hands together. Imagine we can touch them for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we lower those arms back down. Second set, here we go. You got this. Lower and lift. Checking in here that we're not collapsing forward. Really want to feel that length. So imagine a rainbow laser beam from your tailbone straight off the top of your head. 4. If you don't resonate with rainbow laser beams, then it can be a golden light, whatever you feel. All right, here we go. Lift, pulse it back for 6, 5, 2, and 1. Now flip those palms back and press, press. Noticing here the shoulders have a tendency to kind of collapse forward. We're gonna really roll those shoulders onto the back as we move into our circles, circles. Keeping them small. Again, bigger is not better here. Smaller, controlled, building that strength. Change directions. Lifting those toes, planting them down lightly. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now bring those palms facing towards the center of the body behind you and squeeze it in. Relaxing those ribs down. Lower abs lifted, belly drawing in towards the spine. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Third set. So you might be, maybe you're not looking at me, you're just praying to make it through this set. However, you can see even I have the tendency to collapse the head down as the shoulders do, have the tendency to pull forward. This is how we're strengthening without the need for weights here. 2 more here. Keep the sit bones drawing together. Lift and hold. Pulse. Pulse. So we want to go to our maximum here and then push for a little more. That's how we keep it nice and small and controlled. Palms back. We pulse. Check in with the chin. So you want to make sure we're not squeezing chin to chest. Nice space. Add those circles. Sit a little bit lower. Check in with those knees. Lift all 10 toes. Press into that big toe mound. Center of the heel. Change direction. Squeeze. The more you squeeze your shoulder blades together and draw them down the back, the more you're going to really get into the back activation, into the triceps. Now bring those palms facing towards the midline of the back and squeeze. Pulse. Pulse. Squeezing in. Sit a little lower. Draw the lower abs up a little bit more. Shining rainbow laser beam. Tailbone through the head for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax, roll it forward. Nice. Shake those arms out. We're gonna take left arm up. Stretch that tricep out. Ah, should feel beautiful. You can dance it out here too. So you may have felt that a little bit in the backs of the glutes as well, kind of right where the hip bones kind of almost stick out the sides, where I always feel it. And we're in that position and drawing those sit bones together, we do really get some good engagement in the back body there as well. Switching arms. The beautiful thing about barre, and what I love the most, is that there really is no way to make it through a barre exercise, any series, without engaging your full body. Everything is working together. We start to connect the mind and the body into understanding, being conscious of this integration and how every part really does support all the other parts in the body. It's a beautiful thing. Okay, roll those wrists out. You guys ready to hit the mat? Let's do it. Arms are done now for the day. Unless you're doing another class later, then I have no idea. There'll probably be more arms if you do another one of my classes. Grab another little sip of water, guys, if you like. So we're gonna move into now a series for the back body. Nice. So we're gonna come into a bridge position, so you can feel free to just watch. I'm gonna explain what we're gonna do, and then we're gonna do it together. So if you wanna stay seated on your mat and grab some water while you see what you're in store for. So we're coming onto the back. Start by just lifting the feet up, and then just letting them fall down to the mat. Generally where they fall is where they should be. We don't want them to be too far away. We don't want them squeezed into your body either. So pretty much when we lift the hips, we want to be approximately heels under knees, somewhere in that realm where it's comfortable for you. And again, parallel position, so knees pointing directly forward and toes, little piggies, are pointing the same direction. We're going to roll the shoulders under slightly, plant those hands firmly, press on an inhale, then we exhale. We scoop, so now we are going into a slightly tucked under position to peel up through the tailbone into our position here. So this is pretty much where we're gonna live. So you guys can join me here now if you haven't already. Take a deep breath in, exhale, peel. From here, we're gonna pulse up, 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 up. So same as I say often, go to your max where you say, Angel, I cannot lift my hips any higher, and then pulse a little higher because I know you can. And that's again what keeps these motions small and controlled and allows us to activate the deeper tissue muscles and really start building a strong foundation instead of relying on the muscles closer to the surface to do all the work for us. 8 more, 8, 7, drawing some attention in between the space between the knees. Make sure that the knees aren't splaying out. 3, 2, and 1. Now we're gonna pause here. We're gonna walk the toes slightly open, and then we're gonna allow the knees to follow. It's gonna allow us to lift our hips a little bit higher. Really exhale, lift those lower abdominal muscles up. We really want to make sure that we are focusing on that relaxing tailbone down and then scooping up, almost as if you had a string on your tailbone and you're pulling it forward. So really squeezing, and then from here we go back into our little pulse, 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 pulse. You're gonna feel a different part of your glutes activate here. Hips stay lifted, pulse it here for 8. Check in with the chin. Make sure there's some beautiful space between chin and chest. All right, now we pause again, press in with those hands, so back body through the arms is still engaged. Walk those toes and knees follow, bring those knees back into parallel. Now we lower down, 1 to 2 inches above the ground, we lift, squeeze. We lower. Now let's pick up the pace, lower and lift. We lower and lift. So bigger motion here. Again, you're gonna feel a different activation. You may feel the tendency to want to start to lift through the belly, and I really want you to lift through the hips. So feeling that scoop, string on the tailbone, pulling it through the tail, through the legs like a little doggy with his tail between his legs. All right, if you need to take a break, because that was 1 set, we are gonna do 3. You can take a break and hug those knees into your chest. Anytime you need to take a break, feel free to take that break. You know your body. If you wanna push, I wanna push these next 2 sets, so you can push with me. Roll those shoulders onto the back. Press into big toe mound, heel joint. Exhale, scoop the belly, peeling up, tailbone first. Hands stay planted, find that max, and then we pulse higher. Pulse, pulse, and pulse. You got this, nice. You can go to your happy place here, wherever that may be. You're also gonna feel your inner thighs start to engage here more. Not that they're necessarily engaging more, but you're just gonna feel them more. So really releasing the tailbone down now towards the knees. Scooping lower abdominal muscles up for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now lift the hips, pause, walk the toes out, let the knees follow. So we're opening up those knees up to corner edges of our mat here. Pulse, pulse. You're gonna find that deeper burn, really kind of in that, the granny panty line, I call it. We'd be wearing granny panties, that's where the line would be, that's where we're feeling the burn. Press those hands firmly, keep those shoulders rolling in towards your spine on the back for 4. Lower abs are lifted, 3, 2, 1. Lift and pause. Toes come back in, knees follow, back in that straight alignment, pressing into the big toe mound. Take a deep breath in. We lower down and lift, nice and slowly. 1 more, lower down and lift, picking up the pace. We lower and lift. So it's the glutes that are squeezing to facilitate the pelvis pressing up towards the ceiling. I know the burn, I'm with you. You can do this. I wouldn't ask you if you couldn't. Doesn't mean it's not gonna burn. Going to the places we've never been before, charging through the discomfort, gets us to our happy places. I mean, I'm in my happy place now too. I hope at least a part of you is. Lift those hips up high. Take a break if you need to. If you're ready to charge forward, hips, pulse, up and up. So again, alignment here is so important, you guys. So if you're unable to get your pelvis in alignment, take a break. Always take a pause if you need to. Breaking from the pulsing to relax tailbone down, lower abs lift up. 4 more here. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pause. Toes open up towards the corners of the mat. Knees follow. Hips press higher. Breathe. Release. Here we go. Release the breath, not the body. So knees and toes still in alignment here. Pressing in through the palms of those hands into the thumb knuckle. Keeping those shoulders rolling onto the back. Tailbone releases down towards the knees. Lower abs are lifting up. 4 more here, guys. We're almost done. 3, 2, and 1. Walk those toes. Let the knees follow. Lifting those hips nice and high. Now we lower down slow. 3, 2, and 1, and lift. 3, 2, and 1. Lower. 3, 2, 1. Double time. Here we go. We lower to hover, squeeze. Lower to hover, squeeze. Releasing the tailbone down. Really think of tucking under here. You're not going to tuck under. It's pretty much near impossible, although anything is possible. Lower abdominal muscles engaged and lifted. 2 more here. You've got this. 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Pelvis down to the ground. Give those knees a glorious, so full of love hug into the chest. Yum, yum, yum. We will take a moment to stretch here because I know you guys are just dying for it. My bum is to stretching the booty, extending left leg up, crossing left ankle to right knee. You can keep your right foot on the floor here if you're tapped out and this is enough, or you can lift the right foot off, clasping hands in front of the knee and then drawing the right thigh in towards the chest. Just take a couple of breaths here. You can even rock the head side to side a little bit, massaging the back of the head. Enjoy this little release. We are going to stretch into this area a little bit more as we do our cool down. So switching legs, extending right leg up, crossing right heel to left knee. Again, left foot can be on the mat, chilling, hanging out here if this is enough, or go ahead and lift that left knee. Thread hands through the needle of the legs on front of the knee, or you can always grab behind the hamstring too if that's more comfortable. Keeping a strong flex in the feet, particularly on the right foot to protect the knee on the right. Little breath here, a couple little breaths, little head roll, maybe little massage out, close the eyes, check in with you inside. Give yourself a little self 5 on the inside. Self 5. So I just taught my daughter the self 5. She was on the potty the other day and we were high-fiving, high-tending, and we self 5. She did it on her own, and then I gave her the verbiage. She did a little like overhead clap. And self 5, I love it. Okay, so we're gonna come into an ab series now. So if you guys wanna go ahead and grab some water. I'm gonna take a little moment just to sit and chill, have a little sip. Okay, so for this series, we are gonna be on our backs again. And most important is just to go over that core engagement, as I do tend to talk about, but just to really reiterate, most important things to remember when we are doing our core work is just these 3 principles. It's that lower abdominal muscles lift up, upper abdominal muscles squeeze down, and then they meet in the middle to allow the belly button to draw in. So we are going to come into that over exaggerated engagement in the core, so into that contraction position. Again, smaller here is better. So we're gonna come onto our backs, or if you're already there, good for you, you made it. You're chilling, take your break. From here, we're gonna bring fingertips behind the ears, or if you do wanna clasp your hands and bring them behind the head for extra support. If you have a weaker neck or any neck issues, you can always kind of sneak your thumbs in behind your ears, give a little massage there too while you're working. We wanna do our best to keep the tension out of the head. We're gonna take a deep breath in. Plant those feet. As you exhale, again, same as we did in the last series, press the lower back into the mat by dropping the belly button in, and then allowing that to fully engage and extend by lifting the shoulders off slightly. So shoulders don't need to come off the ground here. We really want to find ourself in a place where we can feel that engagement. Without the belly pouching out, we want to keep that engagement. Lower lifts up, upper lifts down, belly squeezes in. From here, we pulse. And then we utilize that breath. So again, you should be able to do this without the hands. If the hands are somewhere else, it's not about squeezing the neck in here. You want to keep that beautiful space between chin and chest. Use that exhale to deepen the engagement in the core for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to add one leg lift and lower and lower. So if you can see me, see I'm not squeezing the knee entirely into the shoulder here. It's just a lift of the foot. So again, visualizing from the core first that the lower abs are lifting so much that the leg then follows. The leg lifting on its own is not going to make the abs work. We need to engage core first. So sometimes it can help to close your eyes, visualize the pelvic floor literally lifting and then saying, hey leg, let's go. 2 more each side. 3, 2, and 1. All right, options here, keeping those elbows as wide as we can. One leg lifts, the other leg lifts. We can hold here. Knees can come as close to the nose as need to, so we're not lifting the lower back off the mat. We need to make sure we're protecting that lower spine. We're either holding here or extending out for 3, 2, 1, in. 3, 2, 1, extend. 3, 2, 1, and in. 3, 2, 1. You're extending out or holding in this 90-degree position. All right, back to the top. Lower down one foot, lower the other, readjust, realign, back to the top of the set. Here we go. We pulse, pulse. So there's never a point when we should be releasing in the rib cage. If you're here, pause, breathe, exhale, find the contraction. And then when you're in that position, we squeeze a little deeper, Huge difference. So much safer for the spine, so much deeper for the core. 4, 3, 2, and 1. One leg lifts. Here we go. Lift and lower. And again, really utilizing that exhale. So even if other people are around you or some other people are in the house, don't be shy to breathe. The deeper you can actually push that breath, you're gonna feel immediately your core engage differently. Okay, lift one leg, lift the other leg. Again, draw those knees in as much as you need to really press the lower back in, and then we can begin to walk those knees out more in line with the hips, holding here or extending the legs out. Here we go for 4, 3, 2, 1, and in. 3 more, or you're holding. Extend. 3, 2, 1, in. 3, 2, 1, pressing the lower back, drawing the lower belly button in. 1 foot down, another foot down, readjust. We pulse, pulse. 3 sets. This is our third. You've got this, you can do it. Close your eyes if you need to. Visualize the strength. Sometimes you get caught up in staring at the belly. Don't look at it. It's working, we know it. Feel it from the inside. Close your eyes. See that inside, the backside of your belly button drawing in towards the spine. Lower abdominal muscles from the pelvic floor lifting up. Upper abdominal muscles drawing down towards the belly button. 3, 2, and 1. Keep that engagement. One leg lifts and lower. Lift and lower. And lower. Four more here. Lift and lower. Check in with those elbows. Draw them as wide as you can. Check in with the neck. Space between chin and chest. One leg lifts. Second leg lifts to align. Bring those knees as close as you need to press all the space away from lower back and the mat. Then if we're extending, we reach it out, back, draw it in. 3 more. Little pulsing breaths can help. 2 more, extend it out. Don't stop breathing. Last one, guys, nice work. Drop one foot, then the other, and release down. Excellent. Put those hands on the belly. Give it a rub, give it some love. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. All right, before we move anywhere, extending those legs out. one at a time, nice and easy. And then go ahead and reach fingertips overhead. Taking that full body first stretch of the morning, engage everything, glutes, toes, fingernails, every little spot in your cheeks, face cheeks, booty cheeks, and then release. And let's take one more deep breath here. Just try to relax a little more fully. Inhale really deeply into the belly. Exhale. Yes, nice. Okay, bending one knee at a time. Bringing both feet to the mat. We're gonna roll over to the left side. And we're gonna plant the hand. We're gonna roll ourselves on it. So we're gonna finish with a really nice, good stretch here, you guys. So for starters, just gonna come to a seated position and do a little side body stretch, because I'm sure you haven't forgotten that awesome oblique work that we did at the start. So going to a comfortable seat. If you do want to get something to sit on, if you have a bolster, a pillow, or a blanket, if you do have tighter hips that's more comfortable for you, go ahead and grab that now. Grab another sip of water, because it's always good to keep drinking that. Okay, so once you're sitting comfortably, little shoulders a little wiggle, a little roll down the back. We're gonna inhale, reach those fingertips up. I'm gonna plant the right hand. I'm gonna take the left fingertips and reach over to the right. How are we gonna feel those obliques? A little more than usual. It's definitely something you're gonna feel in the side body more tomorrow. So feel free to hit me up in our community support group and let me know that you've done this class and how you are feeling. Reaching those fingertips a little bit wider. Again, if your right elbow's not coming down to the mat, no worries. We're really wanting to get that stretch here. So opening up that left shoulder. Say you can be looking up past the elbow, or if it's more comfortable for the neck, looking down towards the mat. Inhaling back up through center. Both fingertips reach up. And exhale, plant that left hand. Right fingertips reach over to the left. Yes, opening up long, lengthening through that side. Fingertips reaching again, rolling right shoulder back and open. Belly is still engaged, so don't allow belly to pour out. Still drawing belly button in, you got it. Shoulders away from the ears, reaching those right fingertips. Again, if it's too much for the neck, you can readjust, looking down towards the mat, keeping both sit bones grounded. Inhaling up. And exhale, fingertips right in. All right, we're just gonna drop the chin to chest, move into some easy neck rolls. So hands can come to the mat or hands can come onto the knees. And at your own pace, gonna inhale, chin lifts, exhale, chin to chest. So you can follow me on my pace here, nice and slowly, or you can kind of make up your own, just following with that breath. Inhale, chin lifts, exhale, chin to chest. So keeping shoulders rolling onto the back here. Drawing nice big circles with the nose. So we're doing all of this work in the body. The neck is really working as well, especially in that last core series we did. So we want to make sure we're bringing some freedom, some flexibility into the neck as well. Go ahead, change directions. Drawing big circles with the nose. So you may even start to feel, if you close your eyes here, you can feel how this motion, simple head roll, can trickle in through the muscles in your back, down to your pelvis, into your sit bones. We're gonna do our best to keep both sit bones grounded. I know I am definitely feeling my back after that tricep series. All right, pause, chin to chest. And then if your eyes are closed, go ahead, flutter them open. And then bring head up on top of the shoulders. We're going to come into a little stretch for the inner thighs. I know this is usually everybody's favorite. So we're gonna open up the legs towards the long edge of your mat. And then again, ooh, good hip pop. You guys might have even heard that one. It was a big one. So lifting all that nice juicy booty meat out the back. So we're really sitting up on our sit bones. Again, if you're not quite here and you're quite tight in your hamstrings and you're scooped a little bit further back, go ahead and grab a pillow, blanket, something you can prop yourself up a little bit higher on. It's gonna help you to bring that alignment that we talk about all the time, with shoulders directly over hips. So if you're just working to get shoulders over hips, continue to stay here. You're exactly where you need to be. And if your legs aren't straight right now,
all good too. We work towards this position. It's again about over 30 years of dance training. My body just sometimes flops into positions that, although may look beautiful and graceful, are sometimes difficult, but that's where they go, just naturally. So if you are aligned and your shoulders are over hips here without that tuck under, you can begin to walk those hands forward. We really want to make sure that we're aligned first, shoulders over hips without that pelvis tuck. So if you are here and you're saying, Angel, I have no idea how I'm ever gonna align the spine, just keep working. And then if you are here, bring your hands behind you, because you're gonna be able to use your arm strength to start to push that spine up. So wherever you are, it's gonna take one more breath. And then rolling ourselves up, 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 up. All right, we're gonna bring these knees together. Just gonna roll over onto our knees, coming through just a transition through tabletop. We're going to just extend the right leg back, so we can then draw the right leg in and up, coming into pigeon pose here. So this is going to be a stretch for the front of the left hip, as well as lots going on in the right leg here as well. So we want to have right knee in line with right hip. You can take a look behind that left shoulder and make sure that the ankle is in line with the knee and the hip as well. And then we're gonna wanna bring that left hip forward. So we're drawing the left hip towards the right heel. And then if this is enough, stay here. If you wanna start to walk down, you can begin to walk those hands forward. And then you can come to forehead to hands, say ice cream scoop. Stack your head up on top of two fists, or if you have anything else, you can even just like bring in a pillow. If you have a dog around, I'm not sure, my dog is having a nap on a pillow off camera today. You can't see her, but she's a small dog, so she's not really the greatest height pillow. Wherever you are, we do our best to relax the neck, even if we're up. Just gonna kind of just let the chin fall a little more humbly towards the chest, making sure that we're not drawing shoulders up towards the ears. And breathing into this stretch. So wherever you're feeling this stretch is where you should be feeling it today. And some days it can feel completely different than other days. Just relaxing, using that breath, exhale to release a little more deeply, and then walking yourselves up if you're not already there. Pressing into the palms, we're gonna press the right knee back. Just press hips to heels just for a brief moment, then bring ourselves back forward. Just transition through tabletop, extend the left leg, squeezing it in, drawing it up in between the hands, and then taking whatever wiggles we need to kind of adjust through here. So go look over the right shoulder, checking in to make sure that leg is in alignment, and then we're bringing that right hip forward towards that left heel. So even if we're up here on fingertips, even if we're up a little bit higher, again, alignment for all these postures is most important. So again, thinking if we can relax the tailbone down, lower abs lift up. And then if you are wanting to walk down a little more further, you can, and even if you come down and say, I want to give it a try, and say, oh, no, that was a bad idea, you can always come out of it. It's always worth a shot. We don't know unless we try. So wherever you are, we're breathing, exhaling. Don't forget to inhale. I know I talk a lot about the exhale and stretching, but inhaling is obviously equally important, because if we don't inhale, we have nothing to exhale. So walking your hands in if you have come down, and then beginning to roll yourself up. I'm just going to shift over onto the left side of the booty here. And we're going to come into a little hamstring stretch. So again, if you are tighter in your lower back and you're really in your hamstrings, you're gonna wanna bring that support with you, that bolster, blanket. Pretend probably not your dog here on this one. Feet hip distance apart, toes flexing up towards the nose, knees are pressing down towards the mat. Again, if there is hyperextension, we want to avoid working into that space. Just working on pressing the knees down. Inhale, reaching those fingertips up, and then exhaling, reaching past towards the toes. So for those of us out there who do have more flexibility, I know what you want to do, and you really just want to, get into the full deep stretch here. But I want us to stay here just for today and reaching past the toes. So bringing those toes, flexing up as much as we can, because that's really going to help bring in a deep stretch for our calves as well, which I'm sure you haven't forgotten. Had a pretty good burn in our releve series earlier. So toes flexing towards the nose, working to have that long spine. And again, if we're just working to align shoulders over hips, then that's where we are reaching fingertips past. It's that effort of trying
to reach past those toes that's gonna get us there. And sometimes it's a longer journey than we would like it to be or we think it should be, but the journey is exactly as it should be. So we're reaching past those toes, really strongly flexing those toes up towards the nose, still lifting up through the front body. One more deep inhale here, reaching a little bit wider, longer. And then exhaling, allow the head to soften down, rolling ourselves up. We're going to tuck one foot, stepping forward, just going to stand up nice and gracefully. Again, keeping the head heavy, so planting the heels, keeping the tailbone heavy, rolling up nice and slowly, one vertebrae at a time. We'll just come together to finish. Feet hip distance apart. I'm sure you're getting much more well acquainted with it now. Stacking that beautiful alignment, head effortlessly floating on top of the neck, shoulders over hips, hips over heels. Inhale, roll those shoulders back. Exhale, lift the lower abs. We'll take one deep breath in together to finish. Inhale, reach, and pause and reach those fingertips up. Close your eyes if you can, if it's comfortable. Trust. Now visualize that beautiful line of energy through the fingertips, down through the body, driving through the heels and directly into the center of the earth. Connect to that energy. Inhale. Open the eyes and rain that sparkle down. Awesome work today, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you had an awesome class. As always, feel free to hit me up in the community support group. Let me know which classes you're doing. Obviously, you can let me know you've just done this one and how you're feeling. I'm sending lots of love your way. And until next time, lots of love.